Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face while you're sleeping. Sports is an event that brings people together in incredible ways. These are the moments we all savor, and every so often, we all get a chance to witness history unfold in front of our eyes. Some of these moments became great simply due to their near impossible nature. So, sit back and watch 10 times the impossible became possible in sports. Number 10. Bethany Hamilton. Bethany Hamilton took up surfing from a young age and excelled on the waves long before she was attacked by a tiger shark at 13 years of age back in 2003. The attack cost Hamilton her arm, but her passion and bravery remained whole. She entered the water again just 1 month later with a custom board and, after changing her style to surfing with one arm, entered and won professional competitions. Just 1 year after the accident, in 2004, Hamilton won the NSSA national competition in Australia, winning it again the next year in the USA, and has continued winning competitions ever since. Number 9. Eric Weihenmayer trumps Everest. You might be wondering, what's so impossible about this? It's not like it hasn't been done before. More than 3,000 people have seen the roof of the world, so why is this any kind of impossible accomplishment? Well, Eric Weihenmayer was born with a retinal condition called retinoschisis, which resulted in him being blind by the age of 13. You heard that right, across the treacherous Khumbu icefall, up the Lhotse face, across hidden crevasses on the western CWM, up the avalanche-prone North Col, along the precipitous northern ridge with no sight. Just try walking a block or two in your neighborhood with your eyes closed, even with a friend to guide you, and then think about your chances of getting up a man-killing mountain without your sight. Number 8. Jumping to your death. Skydiving is a popular sport done by adrenaline junkies and adventurous people, but even this terrifies people to the bone. There's another form of skydiving that will not only scare these adrenaline junkies, but could potentially result in death. This intense sport is known as bonsai skydiving. First, throw off the parachute, and second, jump after it. The aim is to catch the parachute in just enough time so that the diver can make sure the harness is secured, pull the ripcord, and land safely to the pre-planned landing spot. Everything must be synchronized to ensure nothing goes wrong, otherwise it could result in the death of the diver. Yasuhiro Kubo has won a place in the Guinness Book of World Records by waiting 50 seconds after jumping before regaining and deploying his parachute. With exceptional skills, he was able to retrieve the parachute and was able to glide down and hit the pre-planned landing spot. What's so jaw-dropping about this? That's almost the length of 2 television commercials. Number 7. George Foreman beats Michael Moorer. It was on this day in 1994 that the impossible dream was fulfilled. At age 45, former heavyweight champion George Foreman became the oldest man to win the heavyweight crown in the 7th year of a most unlikely comeback run. The fight itself has become part of boxing folklore and is marked by, among other things, the contrast between Foreman and Michael Moorer, 2 men from different generations with markedly different backgrounds and personalities. So, why was it deemed impossible? Foreman was halfway to 90 and was much slower and less flexible than the spry, in his prime Moorer. Statistically, rationally, and logically, there was no way Foreman should have won the fight against a 27-year-old reigning champ. But one perfectly placed punch shattered that wall of impossibility. The younger Moorer, who was a 3-1 betting favorite over the much older Foreman, was boxing his way through the entire fight. That was until the 10th round, when Foreman landed a right that sent Moorer down for the count and didn't beat the 10 count. The right Foreman landed, he said, was the key to his victory, and this knockdown is one of the most iconic ones in his career because of it. Number 6. Jim Abbott. This man's entire career is the very definition of making the impossible possible. Jim is nowadays considered as one of the best pitchers in baseball history. But his career becomes more impressive when you know that he was born without his right hand. An excellent quarterback in high school, and despite the fact he could have had an easier career in American football, Jim wanted to play baseball. Even though most people would tell him it was quite unlikely for a kid with such a disability to become a pitcher in a game that involves playing and throwing with your hands, Jim didn't give up. With persistence, he was drafted and picked to play in the Seoul Olympic Games, where he won the unofficial gold medal for the US, since baseball was used as a demonstration sport. Later, he went on to play for the California Angels, the New York Yankees, and the Chicago White Sox. Number 5. Mo'ne Davis. 2014 was the year that a 13-year-old girl shut down all of the ideas that boys were better athletes than girls. Mo'ne Davis might not have been the first girl to play in the Little Leagues, but she became the first African-American female to participate, and one could argue that she was the greatest, and without a doubt, the most electrifying of all the women to ever step foot into the annual baseball tournament. Even though her team didn't win it all in the end, Mo'ne was the star of the whole tournament. Leading her team as the pitcher, she carried her team to the Little League World Series with a shutout win in the qualifying game, and opened the big tournament with an 8-strikeout, 0-walk complete game shutout against Tennessee. She then followed it up with an RBI double the following game against Texas. Of course, it was her previously mentioned historic performance against the team from Nashville that turned a notably good pitcher into a national phenomenon overnight. Many fans from the sports world and tons of people around the country became huge supporters, and the buzz around the Little League World Series was greater than ever before. Her team didn't go on to win the Little League title in the summer of 2014, but Mo'ne Davis became America's champion after putting together one of the most epic performances and creating one of the most unforgettable sports moments of the decade. Number 4. Michael Jordan's last shot. Would this list even be complete without a mention of the greatest of all time? It's only fitting that Michael Jordan's last shot as a member of the Chicago Bulls would have such a big effect in the history of the game. In Game 6 of the 1998 NBA Finals, Jordan and the Bulls were on the road in Utah, trying to finish off their second three-peat of the game. With less than 19 seconds remaining, Jordan stole the ball from Karl Malone, and on the following possession, the magic happened. MJ drove right past Brian Russell and crossed over back to the left, where he pulled up and drained the game-winning two-point jump shot with just 5.2 seconds left on the clock. It was a brilliant moment that topped off the era of the 1990s Bulls dynasty. Number 3. The Miracle on Ice. Amid the political tensions of the Cold War, the US and USSR hockey teams faced off in the 1980 Winter Olympics. The USSR team was considered the clear favorite to bring home the gold, after having won 5 of the last 6 gold medals. But that was, as you'll see, clearly not what happened. With the inexperienced US national team trailing 3-2 heading into the third period, the supposed miracle occurred as they scored twice in the final frame to take down the Soviets with a score of 4-3. Mad, right? And with that, it's now time for today's subscriber pick. Today's photo was sent to us by one of our subscribers, so if you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it on over to us. We might even feature it on a future video. Number 2. This is a Canadian pole vaulter, Alicia Newman, during the women's final on Day 3 of the IAAF London 2017 World Championships, during which she broke her own Canadian record in the pole vault on Sunday. The 23-year-old cleared 4.75 meters, topping her previous mark of 4.71. She even did a backflip in celebration after the bar stayed up. Newman finished 7th at the World Track. Number 1. Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. With all of the many accolades that Wilt Chamberlain garnered during his career, this is likely his most popular one. He was known for scoring points in bundles, dominating the court apparently every time he stepped on it. But he surpassed all expectations on March 2nd, 1962, when he scored 100 points in a single game, a feat that to this day is simply hard to believe and almost impossible to achieve. While not for lack of trying by some of the greatest ever, many people believe that his record will never be broken. Well, that concludes our list of the 10 times the impossible became possible in sports. Let us know in the comment section below which one was your favorite moment. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that bell icon.